What up, Challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. Just watched episode 18, The Night of Mistakes. Tonight was the start of the final. It was freaking amazing.
It was really good.
Yes.
It was really, really good. For as many lows that I thought there were that I got angry, I stood up twice and yelled at the TV. Doesn't happen very often. Good episode. I have so much, even as I took it down a little bit and decompress, I was like, I need Sarah to take me through this episode so much because I have so many different things that I thought of in my head that I'm like, I don't know where to start. So I need you to guide me because there was a lot of things where I was like, oh, I'm going this way and that way, and this person, I know who didn't win the episode, I can tell you that much. But
who didn't win?
It's Tori. She was awful. Absolutely
she
awful.
Did lose.
And the theme will be the entire time. She's an awful, awful person in this episode. I'm not saying overall, but awful. And then close, well, not close. The second is Nani. Okay.
It was really funny when we were watching it. It probably took us more time than normal. Like, we probably paused to stop and talk to each other, be like, did you see that? Did you see that? Hey, go back, watch that. At least 10 times during the episode.
Yeah.
That to me says good episode.
Yeah. And
if we can't help but talk to ourselves talk to each other during the episode, it's a good episode.
I think it was so much that we wanted to catch things because we're like, why? And there's going to be a lot of whys in this.
Yes.
Why? What did the producers miss here? And there's going to be a lot of questions that we're going to bring up in the podcast. And I think that was it because we were like, we're smart enough to know, like, did you catch that? No. Here's what I'm thinking. Why did this happen? Like, all right, let's go back. And like, oh, I get it. Okay. All right. And a lot of it has to do with the lair at the beginning of it because that was it. So
last week ended with this cliffhanger that this is the night of eliminations.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't know what that meant. So Emmanuel had just won. Then there's no teams anymore. Tonight's the night of eliminations. Yeah. 2 more people are going to go home. So then we all left doing the reality TV face.
Yeah. What are they going to do?
And then we start up tonight, and TJ says, everybody get in a line.
Mm-hmm.
Agency, which was CT, Kyle, Emmy, thank you, but your work here is done.
Sure.
Which terrified me because I thought, okay, well, surely they will still be safe.
Sure they are, yes.
They weren't.
You should not have been terrified, but yeah.
I am always terrified at the idea of CT going into an elimination right before the final.
And
also Kyle.
All right, that's a good, yeah, all right.
So they go through, so they start with Emmanuel.
No, I think the most important thing is, like, the agencies are done. There's now
no
individuals.
Teams.
And no one gasps. No one goes, what? Except for Emmanuel. And I go, of course there was never going to be a final of Emerald running together. And they kept saying it. I want to run together with this team, the Emerald, and Ruby, whatever.
Love this team.
And Emmanuel goes, whoa, Team Emerald.
I know,
and
that was
like,
funny.
What? And I was like, even Emmy, like, she was just like, she didn't say anything. Like, of course that was never going to be the case. Like, Emmanuel, like, where were you at? The whole time he's like, I played a veterans game with them and I let them do this. Like, you didn't pay attention. But anyway, that's where I was like, so of course. Then they have them all there. They got all 10 of them out there. And then the wheels fall off the wagon.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Emmanuel gets to vote first, and they're voting for the women.
Mm-hmm.
He says, and he's standing right next to Amanda, and he's like, Amanda, and then he like gives her a hug.
Yeah.
So Amanda votes. She says Tori. Basically everybody else, well, no, not basically. Everybody else except for Nellie votes for Amanda. So Amanda is voted in.
At this point, I'm starting to think, like, why can't you burn a vote? Okay, why does it have to be, like, why do you have to say one or the other? And that's when I made you rewind it. I was like, wait, did CT say...
You mean TJ?
TJ say that, does it now become those two? And then we watch it again, and he's just like, okay, you get to pick who you go down against. But it's okay to burn a vote, but I understand you're also worried they're going to vote you in. So that's what we were debating.
If you're a man making this vote, you want to be strategic because they're later going to vote for you.
Yeah. And exactly. So if you're a man, you're like, So, and you can always sit there and say, you can politic and go like, hey, I mean, I threw you in because you're a rookie, but I only did it to burn this or whatever else. Like, come on, we're cool. You know that. Like, I mean, Uncle CT could have done that, and he could have saved his rear end, and she'd been like, and Emmy would have been like, oh, Uncle CT, of course you did. Oh, good. But they didn't, and it came down to those two, and it was 8-2, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Because only Nellie and Amanda voted for Tori.
Sure.
Everybody else voted for Amanda.
And Amanda goes in.
Votes in Tori.
She elects Tori.
Correct.
Amanda, what are you doing here?
So I noticed it this week. I don't know.
You are here to win the game. I know you've got a vendetta, but you've got to think. What's the best for your game? Don't vote her in, Amanda. It's pretty good.
I did notice that this week. Last week I was looking for it. I didn't see that with Nellie's interviews. This week I did see that with Nellie's interviews. It is pretty much what you just did.
Yeah.
Still like him a lot.
Sure.
Still like him a lot. But he pauses. I don't know why I just started doing that, and I kind of went into
keep doing it. I think we all should do the Nelson impersonation.
I felt like I was like kind
fun.
of like I don't know how to pause like Nellie. I was like when I said pauses, I just felt like I was instantly going to go into Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
So, but he does do that kind of theatrical pauses in his interviews.
Yeah. So anyway,
but it's not bad.
No, it's not bad. He's giving good advice, but it's like it's got to be like over, and he moves his hands and everything else. And he's looking at. He is deep. He's like about ready to make love to that camera. But she calls out Tori, and she says, "You know what? I'm playing this game this way. I'm going to continue to play this game." Obviously, we would think the choice would have been Emmy.
Emmy would be the obvious choice because she's a rookie, or even someone similar size and athleticism, Nani.
Okay.
Amanda had said online, though, that Nani and Casey and her had built a friendship. Even though, like, whatever we see on the show, they had built a friendship and they were, like, sort of in cahoots, even though they voted her in.
But that was never in my radar. It was Emmy. And we'd gone through and we said, like, who do you think's going to be in? And we kind of, like, said, oh, this person. I think I said Amanda, and Kyle, Amanda, Emmanuel. I can't remember.
Well, and right before they did the voting, I paused and I looked at you and I go, who's going home?
Yeah, who's going home? I think I said Amanda and... Did I say? Oh, I think I said Amanda and Devin is what I said.
You said Amanda and Devin, and I said Tori and Emmanuel.
Yeah, so look at
I don't know why.
You were almost there.
Yeah,
so
I was halfway there. We
50-50.
both were halfway there.
So...
We were almost got it, Kyle, on that.
Yep. Yeah, almost got it, Kyle. Gosh,
on our prediction.
All right.
So it's drone drop.
Mm-hmm.
Drone drops from the center, drops a football. Got to wrestle it from each other, put it in a trash can. Okay. The one thing that happened at the beginning in an interview from Nani that I really don't like, that's happened multiple times this season that I just do not care for.
No, it wasn't at the beginning.
At the beginning of the elimination.
When they were started. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
so Nani says Tori is 2 times Amanda's size.
Twice the size, yep. But
someone else had said that or Bettina had said that in regards to Emmy. I do not like this 2 times her size nonsense. For, women in body image issues, that's a big thing just in general, in life. I don't like this 2 times her size thing. They're definitely not 2 times. She is definitely not 2 times her size. She is not 300 pounds. I just don't like this comparison. There are different words you could say.
There's athletic build as a scrappy. You can use it. There's all kinds of things. Kyle will be called. We did this with Ed. Kyle is lanky. Where Ed is stocky. You know what I'm saying? You say they have an athletic build versus a scrappy build.
So we can say these words for men, but for some reason the women are doing this 2 times her size stuff.
And again,
I don't like that.
I 100% agree with you. I cringed because of what she said, and I cringed how she followed it up because it was so scripted in her head because she's trying to give a compliment to Amanda.
Right.
She doesn't realize what she's saying about Tori. Tori is 2 times her size, but Amanda is putting up a fight. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And watch, and she says it later, and gosh, now I put it in my head, and I have to remember it again, and I'm sure it'll come up. She has another quote, and through the entire thing, her one-on-one confessionals is always even key the way it's supposed to be. It's never controversial, except for the one time when she said, like, if you bring up to Amanda, when she's like, Amanda saying something, she's like, walk away. She's like, I can be a badass. That's the only time she has said. The rest of the season, crazy. The rest of the season has been like, wow, I thought such and such was a puzzle master, but they're putting up a fight. This is a really good challenge.
Yes.
It is really scripted. It is so blasé. She was trying to do something. It came across wrong. I cringed twice.
I don't think it was purposeful. I'm not saying that was purposeful.
It was delivered wrong. She wants to deliver the right message that she thinks is completely the way it should be. It just did not deliver the right way.
Yeah, and that's just my whole point here is I don't like this 2 times her size thing. For one, that is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, I just, with women in body image, I'm just not into that.
I think you're absolutely correct that we have all these different ways to be like lankies, whatever. And it could be she's athletic.
Taller.
Yep.
Stronger.
Taller, stronger.
Taller and stronger. That would be the easiest
stronger.
way.
Amanda's got the heart of a competitor. It's real easy. That's all you have to do.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah, but
Got
you cannot measure the size. Hey, she's taller, she's stronger. You cannot measure the size of that heart in that girl, no matter what. You know what? It's like that. There's certain things you can say. You know, you can't scout heart. No matter what, you can scout your opponent, but you can't scout heart. There are so many things you say, but you're. I didn't even think about it until you just say you're 100% correct. They will do that for every competitor that's a male. They won't do that every time. They always say, like, she's 2 times bigger than her, and look at her, how she fought her off for just a little bit, and she gave it her all, and let's give her a participation award medal. You're 100% correct that they don't give all that out there, all those other accolades and the things that they'll say about him.
So anyway, I apologize for my tangent.
Do not apologize.
I don't apologize.
Yeah, do not apologize.
Tangent. I got on a tangent. Let's move on.
Sure.
I actually thought that Amanda might have potential here.
She had.
Because she is scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in eliminations, Tori can kind of make mistakes, get a little frazzled.
She's scrappy, and she's also motivated because she has a kid at home. I don't know if you know this or not.
She does.
Yeah, she has a son at home, and she's fighting for that. So she's extra motivated, and she's going to bring it up. I want to bring that to your attention because I think it's important that all the listeners know that she has a son at home and that she's fighting for something more than just herself. Okay, move on.
They asked her that. Like, get out of here.
Well, they all do. They're all going to talk about it. I will bring it up again and again, over and over again. At least Tori was honest when she got in the chopper, but all right. Yeah, go on.
So there was an Amanda backpack moment.
The banana backpack happened. She's not going to live that down, that poor girl. Johnny Bananas is for.
And as it was happening, you know, she's on her kind of on the side, so it wasn't really backpack. It was more like, I don't know, side pack.
Just lost it for that poor girl because I'm like, oh no, this is you now. All she had to do was like go around the neck, drop down to a leg. She already had one leg wrapped around and trip an ankle, and that's it. But
and see, I thought I was like, I looked at you, I was like, Tori's got to squat down to get that ball. Mm-hmm. I was like, don't count her out. She's going to go get that ball. It's just.
There's rules, though. There's got to be something. Obviously, she was already around the neck. She couldn't do much more. Obviously, you can't choke them. And she had to drop down. Like, she had to find a way to. She already had the leg hooked. She had to drop away down to get that far ankle and then and then try to. It's a lot to do. But you don't just hold on for the ride. And think like, she's going to tire out. She did not tire out. It will be a thing for a while.
Second round, it just seemed kind of easy. Second round, Tori just got it.
I think she tried to go low like we thought she should have done from the very beginning. Hit her legs. I don't want to take anything away. I think I was pulling for Amanda because that dress is so wonderful. But
you know what? I like Tori, but I was rooting for Amanda. Same thing. I was like, the whole time I was like, go Amanda, go Amanda, go Amanda. And then when Tori got it, I was upset.
I have to take some things away, like when I have bias and stuff. So where the camera angle's at with a drone, automatically I'm like, that's more on Tori's side. But I was like, that's ridiculous. In my head, but right away I want to find a flaw. But I'm like, that's ridiculous. It looks like their tracks are equal, everything else. But she didn't hit low. She didn't do whatever else. It was just over with. And she was defeated when she was down 1-0. And when she became the backpack, she was defeated. It really was. And they have her one-on-one, and
And it was sweet, and she said, just
I could have picked people that I played with, and then they show Casey and Nani, my friends. They never show Emmy. She's like, maybe that's my downfall of this game, or maybe should Emmy. And then Nelson comes in. That's when I did. Amanda, do this, and he's insinuating he should take Nani. He should have taken Emmy. He should have. I'm sorry. Take the rookie every time. I don't care if she's been in 3 challenges. She's the rookie of the cinch. Don't care.
Well, and it also, that's been the theme this season is the vets versus rookies.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah. But either way.
It just sucks. I really liked her this season a lot. But at the same time, I wasn't yes, I was upset that Amanda went home, but I was like, okay, I'm okay with Tori going to the final.
Sure.
Obviously, there's more to come.
But let's talk about how Amanda got screwed one last time. One last time
yes.
MTV decided to just screw her over. By the way, who's like a 4-time champion of who won this episode? Amanda.
Yeah,
you might win this episode
was.
just because you got screwed over again.
So
I lost my mind. I didn't understand where you're following, and then you lost your mind. I was like, we've been talking about this, and you're like, oh, now I get what you're doing.
Right. So, well, first TJ says, this ends your time for now. And he said, something along this devil game you played is not true. You're a really nice person.
You're a great person, yeah.
And that was
you're going home to a wonderful boy. You're wonderful. You're number one. You're a wonderful mother. Blah blah blah. It doesn't say we'll see you
that
soon,
was
but he's
beautiful,
just like take care. He
though.
says take care.
I feel like with all that he said, it's like TJ gets to see a little bit of them. I don't know how much he gets to see, but I feel like he got to see enough to be like, this is a good person. And he believed what he said.
Yeah, I don't think she's a bad person at all. I
No,
don't think
but
he does either.
But I don't think that was on a cue card for him to read.
No, I think he got to watch the production when she's doing the crying. She's like, I'm going home to see my son. Is the number one thing. And he almost regurgitated exactly what she said. And he's like, oh, look at that. She's not the devil. And he just kind of said what she said. That part, not so much. I really want to talk about how you're like,
right.
What just happened here? And I was like, told you.
So then they go into the voting.
Yeah.
And because Tori won, she gets to start the vote. But Amanda doesn't get to vote, which is complete crap. Because all the men got to vote. And now, so there were 10 votes initially. Now we're down to 9. She doesn't get to vote. That is garbage.
She has every right to say anyone's name that came out of their mouth. Mm-hmm. She has every right. So they should have been like, okay, now, Amanda, it's you, and you pick Tori. Go up and join them. We'll let you know what we're going to do. Now we need to vote the men.
Why didn't they just do the voting simultaneously?
And all you needed to do, you didn't have to do it, anything to be like, okay, now, Tori, you won. We're going to start with you. All you need to do is just do a snake draft and say, we start with Emmanuel. In case you went last.
Yeah, go
Casey,
backwards.
You're starting with the man's right now. In case you had to be like, huh? Oh, this is so tough, TJ. I don't care if you just gave me an entire layer challenge.
Right, and that's another thing. They voted for the women right away from what we saw. And then they had the female elimination. And then they go into the
but
let's
voting.
Get to
how this isn't right.
But they could have spoken about it during the women's elimination and made their little plans. That's not fair either.
Yes, exactly. I just don't understand why Amanda doesn't get the right.
She should get a vote
to vote out anyone else
because the person who lost that elimination still got to vote.
It's completely,
the man that lost their.
It is one of the
Emmanuel still got to vote, and for the female
one of the
elimination.
biggest flaws of this episode. It's one of the biggest flaws of the season, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And I right away I was like, this isn't right. This is right. And I thought you were following me, and it wasn't until she was walking out, and you're like, no.
Well,
and I was like, yeah, this is what I've been saying.
I was still holding out hope that they would still give her a vote.
Yeah.
I was still holding out hope that there would still, and then they didn't.
It's by far one of the biggest flaws production has, and early in the season we were critical about some things, and then we caught on to, and we've been great about, they'll give you little Easter eggs to know what to do. But this was one of the biggest
garbage.
flaws. It's not. You should have.
I wrote
every
BS in all caps.
Yeah. So that being said, they go back up, and it's now okay. Now Tori and they randomly, she goes right back in the line, but then they go in the opposite direction, right? Do they snake it back?
Yes, Casey.
Tori and then Emmanuel. No, yeah, Tori. No. Tori starts it.
Tori starts it. We know that. I think Casey was last or towards the end.
Casey had to go. It doesn't
Casey
matter
was towards the end.
what the order is. Casey was early. Casey milking it for like, this is so tough. And we're both looking at each other. I actually think I punched a pillow on your couch. And I was like, they could have talked this entire time. They don't need to do whatever else. They know what's going. She knows her vote. Why is this so hard to do? And I think she throws out Emmanuel. She does, right? Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was... I think it was unopposed, other than Emmanuel.
No.
There were some Devin votes.
Yeah, there was a Devin. It doesn't matter, like, all the whole thing starts. But, like, it was just, like, her, the way she milked it, and then Manuel does it, and this is where Tori just completely starts losing this episode.
So, well, first of all, Manuel is voted in.
Yeah.
She looks at him and she goes, "Don't pick Devin." To which you started losing it. You were like, "Don't even put his name out there. Don't even put his name out there." To which I said, this kind of makes her clean because then she's like fighting for her alliance.
Okay, Devin was the first male to say Emmanuel's name. Okay, so that's how that starts. And then Emmanuel says Devin's name back. So that's that part we know. We understand that. But until then, he needs to start sizing up the crowd. And she does not need to put that name out there. And he does try to say afterwards, he's like, calls on Devin. He's like, "You said my name." I get it.
Right.
But what do we? Well, I knew it was going to be Devin, or I knew it was going to be Kyle.
Well, and let's not discount that this man just did this incredible endurance elimination like an hour ago, probably, maybe 2.
Sure. But he had been saving himself all year. He said that last episode. He's like, "I've been saving myself all year." So, I mean, hey, you can. The endurance can happen. If you've been saving yourself for an all-nighter, you know, the retraction period shouldn't be that long, right?
Endurance has never been, well, it was maybe a little bit my strength back in the day, but definitely not now. If I was just exhausted from something endurance, and I just met everybody on the same day, even though I made friends, and it was for $1 million, yeah, I would pick the person that I thought probably wouldn't have the endurance, not knowing what the elimination
I think Devin was the right call, to be honest with you. You've seen Kyle in the finals. Devin hadn't been down there. Devin wasn't upset so much.
No, he was like, LFG. Let's freaking go.
So.
And then.
Oh, man, this was brutal.
So we didn't know, and I kept saying earlier, I was like, I hope it's a different elimination. I hope it's not the same thing. But I didn't think it would actually happen. So Emmanuel pulls down Devin, and it's a puzzle.
Everybody.
Except
for Emmy.
The hysterical laughter coming from us. I don't know that I've laughed that hard in
because
a year.
They were all laughing. Emmanuel looks back at him and starts laughing.
I could not. I'm like, you gotta be kidding.
Devin says strong jaw the entire time, like, And they're all just like, you're kidding me. They're dying laughing.
Because the last one, like the women's elimination was physical. So like, okay, it's gonna be physical.
And they're all just like, basically like, And
Emmanuel's like, what do I do? I was dying.
Emmanuel, good sport. He laughs about it.
Oh, like, yeah. Nothing I could do.
And, hey, 3-part puzzle, triple threat, right?
Triple threat. So the first part is a color Sudoku. Or Sudoku.
Yeah, you called that out right away.
So we all know how Sudoku works. Then there's a number Sudoku.
Yeah.
And then the other one's just like a puzzle.
Diamonds have to match in a pattern.
Right.
Yep.
Manuel actually gets the color Sudoku pretty darn quick, like really quick.
Yeah, like his first 2 rows on his left, they weren't going very well, and he's talking the way through it through like his confessional or maybe just his way, and I was like, oh, he does not get this. And I think he just saw like right away because he had like a bunch of yellows in a row, and something must have clicked. But the most important thing you said during this, That's not fair that the directions are not in his native language.
Yeah,
that is the
I
most
said that
important
immediately.
thing. Yeah.
I again, we paused like 10 times this episode.
Sure.
I paused it and I looked at you and I'm like, that's not right. That's not his first language. That's really sucky that he has to read these directions and then do it. Like that sucks.
I agree. And I was like, that's a really, really good point. And it's one
and we
thing
don't know if someone told him.
we don't know if on the left the direction's there and on the right or whatever, but he says it out loud in English, so that's it. But he does. If you look at it, like he has like yellow in the first 3 rows, and then right away he says something, and then he just starts like a Rubik's Cube.
And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like I discounted this man's intelligence because we've just seen him be very fast and part of this Emerald team. So I was like, oh my God. But I'm rooting for Devin. At this point. And Devin is struggling with this color Sudoku. He tells us a story about dyslexia growing up. He said major dyslexia. But that's made him...
Major dyslexia. He used to memorize what he would have to read the next day. It's rare that they make you do that anymore, read out loud in class, but that's fine. To read out, he used to memorize what he read in class the next day because he didn't want to be made fun of.
Yeah.
So I get that, and I knew when the number Sudoku was going to come because he said help numbers. I was like, the second part he's going to get done because he's.
Oh, and you were saying it the whole time. I was like,
he's seen that so many. He already told us. He's seen it so many times. He's memorized this pattern so many times.
Right.
It's one of those things.
There've been other challenges finals where Sudoku was a thing. So anybody who's been on enough has been like, I need to figure out how to do these.
Yeah.
So here's where things get messy.
Yeah.
Tori has said this is my friend, Devin. This is my crush.
Yeah.
Manuel. I don't know. It's like Sophie's choice to her.
Sure.
She doesn't know who to root for. Devin is still on the color one.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel is on the number one. And she starts trying to give him hints.
Mm-hmm.
Answers. Nellie immediately is like, what are you doing?
Yep.
CT calls her out, too.
Yep. But she's not going to call out Uncle CT. She's going to call it Nellie. I want them both to win. Tori. No, I know, but I call him Uncle CT just because. Yeah. Anyway, I know what you're saying though. But he says it, and she just says like, I want them both to win, but I can't help Devin because it's colors that I can't see, but I can help him. And Nellie's like, knock it off. That's your friend. And she's like, you're only saying this right now because I called your name out. And he's like, no, I'm telling you, just knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
So. And she kind of takes a step back a little bit.
For a minute.
Yeah.
And I instantly just thought about it to myself, like while this was happening. This is the elimination before a final. These are 2 people that you care about. But don't you want both of them to like get it on their own? Like I literally wrote down Tori helping equals integrity of the game.
Yeah. She doesn't need to say anything.
And it's... Because as I was writing it, I was thinking about, like, if it was somebody else and it was their, like, BFF that we've known forever, I'd be like, yeah, give them the answers. But for some reason in this situation, I just didn't like it.
It gets even worse.
Do you know what I mean?
If you watch it again, her left hand, when they're calling her out and telling her not to do it, she starts doing a 5 here. 5 over here. If he looks up, she's trying to do 5 here because put 5 in the middle. She knows he's not going to catch it, but she just keeps trying.
I saw that.
5. And so... eventually, Devin gets the pieces,
and then here goes more to integrity of the game. CT tries to help Devin, so Devin gets to that second round. They're neck and neck, and then CT tries to help. Then I changed my tune. I was like, "Yeah, help your friend."
Yeah, but he's the worst part. He's like behind Nellie's back. He's like, Hey, Devin, it's 5 in the middle, 15. He's like, shut up.
He's like, I got this.
And
I memorized this. I know how to do it.
I love integrity of the game, but we're not giving that to Devin. He's not getting the integrity of the year award ever. All right.
I'm not talking about Devin. I'm talking about the people on the sidelines.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to give it to Devin. He's like, I got this. I don't need your help or whatever.
I'm just saying he said he didn't need help. Yeah. I appreciated that.
Yes.
But I'm talking about fans.
Yep.
People on the sidelines.
And then he knocked it out of the park.
Well, not knocked it out. It was a like an RBI kind of situation. Out of the park because it was close for a while. When they got to that third puzzle where they're matching up the colors, and at one point Emmanuel was like,
the Sudoku part, but the puzzle thing. This is the first time I stood up, where I'm like, "Well, if you've got it, then call it." Like he's just like, "I got it. Can we check it?" Yeah, but anyway, it's so close.
And then it was like wrong, and the colors are so close. And Emmanuel was like, "I just had it except for one," and Devin's like, "Me too. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the game."
Yeah, I had it too, except for one, Emmanuel. And he's like, "No, I'm so sure I have it." And he's like, "Yeah, that's the name of the game." Yeah, just
that was cute. I like his humor a lot. So Devin wins. TJ says to Emmanuel, "Take care of yourself."
But he gets the same thing to Amanda. That he'll be back.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty
not, I'm sure he doesn't need to do the, I'm sure we'll see you soon. Take care of yourself. You made it this far. You're that close. Yeah. It's legit. Yeah.
Legit. Too legit to quit.
That's right. Yeah. He can't quit. Yeah, they're not going to quit him. He's not going to
Don't quit on Tej.
Yeah,
Don't quit on Tej.
He's not, yeah. Doesn't like quitters.
So TJ says you final 8. Going to the final.
Yeah. I get really let down after this. I want a party.
Why wasn't there a party?
Why
wasn't there? I want the champagne, like spraying each other. I want the
I want a party. I don't want the bunk beds talking about Tori Nelson's trying to stir the pot.
Right, you're right. That was Stoop's lame.
I don't want Nani and Casey hanging out talking about how great they did it. And what final? This is your third final. It's my third final too. I want to cross with you, except for I want to cross before you. Oh, them's fighting worlds. Oh, let's wrestle. I want the party. I want to see them dancing. You know what? Bring back Emmy singing Alien. I'm an alien. I want it all back. The remix version. I want it all.
Well, T, just since you're talking about Emmy singing Alien, she is releasing a new song, I think tomorrow, called Wolf.
Oh, is it based on that she's part of the wolf?
I don't know. I think it was something about like being on the show and she's a wolf and there's
part of the wolf.
Her like the cover like the picture for the song.
Like a single?
Yeah.
Is it a single or is it
the picture is like her and like I'm assuming it's a wolf. It looked like a big dog, but it's probably a wolf. And then they all shared it on their Instas today. CT shared it, and like all the people shared it. Her song "Wolf," and it sounded good. It's in Romanian, so I didn't understand it.
Nothing could annoy me more. But okay, good. I'm not listening to this.
I'm so playing it for you later.
Okay, good, awesome. Can't wait. Just give me the party. Don't give me the talk or whatever else. Don't give me the I'm so happy you're here. No, I'm happy you're here with me. We did this. I want a party. That's all. Come on, they're going to the finals.
I agree.
Yeah.
I concur. But that's not what we got.
That's not what we got at all. Yeah. Not one bit.
Instead, we get Nelly and Devin talking in a bedroom, talking about Tori. Okay.
Devin trying to say like,
Nelly and Casey having a love fest. It was cute. I mean.
Nani and
Casey's hair, Nani's hair tonight in the night of eliminations. God, it was beautiful. The shine. I have never been able to establish that shine. Beautiful. CT, Devin, and Emmy are outside making steaks. Devin has a cute little line saying, Emmy, 4 missions, 4 eliminations, 12 meltdowns.
Yeah, that's good.
That was the line of the night.
Yeah,
that was the line of the night.
Yeah.
Nellie's in an ice bath talking to his legs. Then Tori, who they were just arguing like 12 hours ago. Tori interviews him. I wrote down interviews him.
Yeah. By the way, production, you lost this episode. Production, you've lost this episode. You are fighting with Tori to lose this episode. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Nellie's doing it for Gloria. She's doing it to.
Eileen here on the. What are you gonna do if you win the money? Did I say that right? Did I say the line right? Okay, yeah, okay. Well,
she just goes, line?
Yeah. Can we do it over again? Can I lean a little bit more this way? I don't feel like my hair should be. It was so produced. And he's like, well, this is what I'm going to do. And, of course, it's with his family and everything else. And I get it. That's awesome.
Miss Gloria.
Yeah. And nail salon and whatever, all that other stuff. But we forgot about CT, that he's got the CT broke the fourth wall with the camera.
What'd he do?
When they were in the bunk beds and they were talking about like, oh yeah, but now it's a final and you can't trust anyone. He looks at the camera and he goes,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He pulled the Jim Halpert.
yeah.
It was so good.
He breaks the fourth wall.
That was another one I rewound for.
Yeah.
I was like, did you see that? And you were like, happened to look down. I was like, no, we're looking at it.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
So we go into the final.
Yep.
They got to run to a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to a helicopter.
The automatic scuba things. That'll take you there. That you hold on to.
Yeah,
You swim to those. And you get on those like
oh, yeah. Those things are
handheld jet ski
freaking
things.
awesome,
Yeah.
by the way. Like, I need that. They got to make the world with, and then there's also flags.
Can
via
I
puzzle.
slow you? Where we're at, because not everyone knows, are you planning on using those at Westlake when they finally fill that in? Or because you're not doing those in Mississippi River?
Yes,
where,
definitely Westlake.
So on the Christmas
Duck
list.
Creek, maybe?
There you go. Yeah. So for her Christmas list for the out there, whatever these things are called, she'd like when Westlake fills up, she would like to use these there. So yeah.
I go to like the West Pool.
Sure, yeah, that too. It's got the pool at Scott County Park. Anyway, yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah,
It's so cool.
it is cool. Yeah, but they get that.
Then they have to make this puzzle. It's just the world. Very simple. And then they've got to put the flags essentially from the people that were on the show. Like in the appropriate spots.
That's what they run to the first checkpoint, right? Because the other one is the wire. Okay, can we start about this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Truth be told, I was a geography teacher at one time. The only reason I really thought it was important is to make educated citizens, and I believe that right now.
Educated citizens.
Educated citizens.
That's a hard educated citizens.
These people, one, had trouble with a map of the world. They had trouble fitting blocks together. At one point,
They were
somebody was
like,
"Are
"It
these?"
won't
Kyle
fit."
goes, and I know Kyle's not an American citizen or whatever. But he goes, "Are these all the same size? They're clearly the same size."
They're squares. They're like, I don't
The
know.
map
probably
of the
like
world.
5x5.
And I know it represents where all the countries are from. These flags are not hard. If you've watched any Olympics whatsoever,
There'd be a couple that I wouldn't be great.
I thought about that too. And guess what the answer is? By process
of elimination.
Because you've had conversations with all the people in the house where they come from,
Hey.
and you're like, wait, I don't know what this flag is, but isn't such and such from Argentina? Yep, check. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all. By process of elimination, you would be like, I got it so far. I know this and this. There's only...
Like my good friend Javi is from Ecuador. We've been really good friends for like 15 years. I don't know what his flag looks like.
Put that one off to the side, because you kind of figured it out, everything else, and then put that there. Like, it's not as hard as you think it is. It really isn't. But now we talked about what a CT just took off. And we're like, no, you erase everything.
Oh yeah, that was the worst. As he's run, and you said it first. You're like, why did he not dump it?
Yeah.
And then he's running and he says it.
He goes, I didn't dump my map. And then I think it was Tori right away was like, said like, well, the map's there or whatever else. And she looked at it. And as you look, we kept watching like, wait a minute. Are they... And I kept saying, no, production's just taking the flags off.
Right. Like, is there someone in the... I was saying, is there someone blocking them? Like, saying, no, you're not allowed, even if it wasn't done.
And this is like a verbal wrestling match going back and forth. Like, no, I'm sure I see that map.
I'm like, maybe no.
It's taken off. And I'm sure production did it. And then they're getting longer and longer people going. And then you keep seeing Casey going to a map. And I'm
That's
like...
later.
No.
Was it that in the first one?
Yeah, and I'm like, clearly it's still on there. Like, because the copper wire ones, I will call them copper wires, they start tossing them.
Those they toss, for sure. So, you're right.
Yeah, and Casey, and she comes in like dead last in the whole thing, and she just keeps looking and going, no, was it her? No, Nani, and it doesn't matter. But they're constantly looking at, and like, why would you not? And multiple of them did it. So learn from your past. You always complete a puzzle and you just
dump
get
it.
rid of
Yeah,
it.
Always. Yeah, from back in the day. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So
Helicopter 1, helicopter 2, helicopter 3, helicopter 4. Get in your scuba thing, swim, whatever. And then you run up.
Run on the rocks. Yeah. It was uphill.
Mm-hmm.
It was rocky. Then another puzzle. This is the, what do you call it? Copper wire.
Copper wire, I guess.
And this is one that we saw earlier in the season. This is the one that Josh and Ashley won.
Mm-hmm.
Still, people had problems with it. Devin gets it first.
Yeah.
And we're like, what?
And he was.
And CT was looking kind of frazzled, which we never
he was in Helicopter 3.
We never see him look frazzled. Oh, by the way, so Helicopter 1 was CT and Tori.
Yep.
That looked like they were having a really good time.
That's when Tori says, I know all these people are here to win things for the family. I have a very supportive family, but I'm just here because I like to challenge myself. Good job, Tori. It's the only good thing you said all episode. I liked it. I appreciate it. She was like, yeah, everyone else comes through this. I have a supportive family. And I mean, she does kind of say like it's the first time here on my own, but you hooked up. But I liked it. She's like, I just like to challenge myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it looked like
everybody.
Yeah.
And then Devin had a good one too. Who was on his helicopter? That was the other helicopter that I said would be fun. That was Casey.
He was with Casey.
Devin and Casey.
Yep.
And then the other helicopter.
Kyle and Emmy, right? No, Kyle and what? No, it's Kyle and somebody, and then Emmy and Nani.
Emmy and Nani.
So who are we missing?
The other woman.
What's wrong with us?
Oh, it was Kyle and Nelson?
Yeah, because Nelson said something. Kyle's like, whatever. Like they did the knuckles, but it wasn't like they were never really like too.
It looks fun.
Yeah. Yep.
So they run up these rocks. Nellie takes the lead for a little bit.
Gets super excited. CT's like, yo, bro, calm down.
Act like you've won before.
Yeah.
He didn't say that, but I just feel like that's what he was
No,
thinking.
he's like, bro, calm down.
Nellie's quick. Like, when you see him sprinting, like, when he's really going, like, I noticed that tonight, he's really fast.
I've been training for this.
Oh, my God, get out of here.
All the time. So, yes, I'm ready to run up these rocks. Of course, I'm in first place. Okay.
The shoulders.
Yeah.
No, he's fast as heck.
Good. Yeah. I might take this on the road. Yeah.
So Devin finishes the puzzle. He's in first place. What the heck? Comes up to this purple and orange. He takes the purple. Turns out we're on teams again.
Yeah.
It's going to be 4-on-4. Then CT comes up.
This was a good moment of the episode.
It really was. So then CT's like, okay, Devin, let's go.
Well, we both were like,
what's he gonna do? We didn't know.
Gonna recruit him, but CT is
never know.
Analytical right away to be like, we've seen it before when he in other episodes turned down Killer Cam.
When he turned down Cam, I think he learned from that lesson.
Yeah,
though.
But he does his interview. And he's like, Braun and Brains.
They're also like, again the New Englanders.
Yeah, but I mean, I really I'm like this.
Strong.
He can be recruited, but be like, nah, I'm gonna go this way. But he's like, yeah, I'm in, and it looks good so far.
It does look good. Then Tori comes up, and they're both like, please tell me that's Tori. Please tell me that's Tori. And I mean, she practically jumps into their arms. I mean, she didn't, but like they were both like, yeah, come to our team, please.
Devin says, I'm going to put all the animosity aside. It's about run the final. We did not touch upon when Devin came back up. Tori gave him a hug when they said they were in the finals. He did not give her a hug back. He did not reach his arms around, but he did say, I'm going to put all animosity aside. This is about
I'm trying to win.
Final. Yeah, so Tori gets there, and then because although CT knocks his we'll say copper wire over, whatever else, Emmy is smart enough to look at Tori's, and Emmy comes in fourth.
Right.
And she jumps on the orange block.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Making sure I was paying attention.
Yeah, of course.
So then we've got first finisher on orange is Kyle. Poor Kyle. He just missed the boat.
Yeah.
Missed the boat. Nellie. Third,
Thank you so much,
Nani.
Yeah.
Fourth, Casey.
Yeah.
And what Nani finished before Casey.
Yeah. Yeah, she struggled with this. And Nani, this is where she gives her, I said to you, this was going to happen. It was going to remind. She's like, I'm looking around. Oh, and we have very strong competitors on this team, and I can't wait to do this because that's all she knows to do. And then, of course, my man Nelson comes in. I look at this team, and I've been building for an individual run, and now I'm back on a team, and I'm like, this guy hates every team he's on no matter what. Like, he's had, like, one episode where it took him, like, I think he had 90 seconds where he tried to be a leader when Corey finally left. And he has quit on every team before it's happened, while it's happened, and after. Some way or another.
I don't know if I could give you that approval, because I'm not really sure that he has done that, but...
Oh, are you talking about the one episode where he didn't say anything at all until they finally lost, and then he lost the time?
I thought you meant in his challenge career.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about this season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I just think, like, it's just, like, Nani gives the whole, like, I'm doing the cookie cutter thing.
She's super PR this season.
That's annoying.
PR this season. I'm not mad at that.
It's because she's got to give...
if you want to call back, you got to play the game.
Yeah, but yeah. So it looks like Nellie's back on Ruby again. And
essentially.
Yeah, Kyle. And, you know, the way this thing works out where they take away Emerald, now Nani and Casey have had it that way. And TJ comes in, says, this is your team for a little bit, for a stage, who knows, but he says, trust me, you do not want to be...
trust.
No, he says, trust me, you do not want to be the losing team. So you know that means the sleeping arrangements, whatever they're going into next, is not going to be good, where the other one's going to be like eating Whoppers and hanging out by a campfire.
At least it's not cold. Like, remember those sleeping arrangements last season?
Yeah, so he just said, trust me, you do not want to be the losing team. So that's not good.
I ain't mad at that. Heck of a first day of the final.
One thing I forgot to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Well, I already told you, but one thing I forgot to bring up. Right before they ran the final, I gave final odds to win it.
Oh, okay.
So this is all on, like, if you bet $100 to win something.
You just made this up.
I made it up right before they ran the
okay.
right before the finals. Right when he said these are the finals, I picked up my phone and I said, "Okay, here's what." This is where you looked at me and you're like, "You weren't paying attention. You're on your phone because CT was doing his eyes." So here's what I got for the guys.
Okay.
Now keep in mind when I say plus whatever, this is like you're betting 100 to win something. So the favorite would be CT on the male side at plus 150. You're only betting 100 to win 150.
Okay.
Nelson has the second best odds.
Agree.
Win 100 to win 300 is plus 300. So CT's the odds-on favorite by a lot. Kyle has the third best odds. Bet 100 to win 450, so he's plus 450. Devin at plus 500.
Okay.
Now, I know Nelson should not come in probably for Kyle. Kyle can show that no matter how many heaters he pulls.
It's so hard. It's so hard to
But
know.
Kyle can do so many things in a final. Like, he can run. He can do whatever else. He's always impressed me. That guy is...
Yes,
that guy,
from day one.
That guy can smoke a pack, take down a lot, and he can still run till the next day. He's my...
It's insane.
Challenge Z-Bar.
Yes. So, oh my God, he is Z-Bar.
Yeah. So, but Nelson, I think I do have a little bit in him that I'm like, you know what, he has been preparing.
I'm proud of him. He's been working really hard. I wouldn't be mad at him if he won.
The favorites to win on the female side. And again, I put this before it started.
This one I don't.
So keep in mind, it's 100 to win whatever else. So when I say something, it's plus 200.
The men, there's such an obvious, like, CT.
You should be an odd-on favorite. All right.
Okay.
The favorite at plus 200 is Casey.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
Right behind her, close, at plus 250 is Tori.
Okay. I agree.
Kind of drops off from there.
You're such a hater.
At plus 500 is Nani.
Over Emmy.
Yeah. Not by much.
You don't care for Nani.
She's not going to do well in this final. The team portion is only going to carry her for a little bit. At plus 550 is Emmy. So Nani's just a slight favorite. But Casey and Tori have a very high percentage, I think, to win there. And they're just by $50. So if I were a sports book, these would be my odds. CT would be the odds-on favorite.
Yes.
Now, when you do this, when you bet, like, all right, and it couldn't be a thing where I don't think CT is so much of a favorite that it's minus or whatever else. But you always kind of look for where's the value at. Nelson's where the value is. because
Yes.
you're putting up 100 to win 300.
Right.
Right. Tori and Casey, there's not much. There is a value. You put in 100 to win 200 back or whatever else. But that's so Casey could. She's already wearing a knee brace, and I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that, and Tori, so you can't make them too much. If I had to do it over again, probably 150 to 175. But I really don't know how the whole thing ends up working. But I did guys and girls. That's it. So I feel confident where that is.
So who would you bet on then for the women?
CT and Tori.
CT and Tori.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's 2 things I have to complain about from what I've seen of the preview of the final. We have had no eating the entire season.
That's true.
It does not look like there's eating in the finale. I have to wonder if it's dietary restrictions.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started. Seriously?
No, I mean, if people have allergies, like my husband's allergic to shellfish, like that would be very shellfish of them to be like, eat a bunch of lobster.
Oh, my God. How long have you been waiting for that?
Forever.
How long have you been waiting for that? Like, how many 18 episodes? Just be like, as soon as there was an eating one, be like, okay.
No.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like if there's dietary restrictions or like if it's about like religion, you know, like certain religions can't eat certain foods. Like if we're talking about the world, like.
Okay.
Those are my only thought processes on why there could potentially not be an eating challenge.
You started the season with Fessy not being able to eat because of Ramadan.
Yeah, we've
True,
done that.
but
Yeah.
we've passed that. We're obviously past Ramadan, so
I get it.
and then we didn't have a trivia. So I'm hoping.
I'd like
Right,
that, yeah.
there was trivia on All Stars this week, and it was amazing.
Okay, yeah, because you told that last week. You were excited about that. Yeah, you're right. And
Is that challenge of the past? Is that something that's just not going to be revisited?
maybe some of the people are sitting there say if we're really fighting for this thing to be the 5th major sport, and you know what? No, eating should be, because competitive eating is up there, and people say that's a sport. So I get your dietary things. That's tough to get around.
And
I mean,
yeah, like if someone's lactose intolerant,
to be honest
and then
with you,
this person is vegan.
I don't
and this
care to
person-
watch someone eat.
I just like.
I don't want to go down a list and say vulgar things. I don't want to see people vomit on TV. How's that? I don't care. For me,
I just like it because it is that moment of
it's
a
mental.
super push. Yeah, a mental.
It's where you tough it through and you're like, okay, I got this. But I'd rather see them
Stay up all night.
Yeah, I'd rather see them. I
yeah,
thought
that's
I was
about
like,
the
yeah,
same.
the 4 of them are going to stand on this pedestal and just
Yeah,
sit
that's
here and
about
figure
the
it out.
same.
You know, not pedestal, but whatever. This little block, this rectangle. I was like, yeah, and you guys are going to sit here for 15 hours and talk about what a great team you're going to be and let us know. But I think they'll do something. But if they keep making the challenge this way, that's fine. Of course, I'd love trivia, but I don't think anything in the final is going to have anything to do with trivia.
Right.
There's just.
So, do you think that the eating and the trivia are just becoming all stars?
Yeah, I could see that. And
Oh, it was so good. I loved it so much on this episode of All Stars.
I like the trivia more, or the spelling, early in the season. And if you kind of do
Sabotage people.
yeah, and you can call someone out.
Yeah.
If you get it right, you get to call someone out to do it. It just doesn't work later on in the season. That's all.
Right.
And they're not asking him to remember certain things. And at that point, you're running up your heat. They've done enough. They've already done 2 puzzles, so I think day 2 is going to be something crazy. You have to sleep here. You have to do this and that. But yeah.
Fire and explosions. They come in.
Oh, next week.
Cases with codes.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the very last
Fast
thing.
cars
when you
making a lot of noises.
You know, like when you win it, you know you're gonna flip open a box and go like that's it. Be like, oh look, it blew up again. Yeah. So, but there's a lot to be for next episode. I like where the odds
I'm
are
excited.
at. Is there?
I am not even though like I was bummed that Amanda didn't make the final because I've really been rooting for her this season. I'm okay with everybody that's in the final. Like if anybody in the final won, like I would be okay.
Well, I don't think I.
No, you would not allow.
I don't think I lose sleep at night about anyone who's ever won a final.
No, but I mean, like, you're not gonna like stomp your feet and be like, "That sucks." Although I don't know that I've ever done that with anybody that's won the final.
Would I?
There's no one that I. Well, no, that's not true. I was just gonna say there's no one that I think didn't
If
deserve
Emmy
to
wins
be
it,
there.
I would be like, what happened?
If Emmy
here?
wins, Emmy won 4 eliminations.
Okay,
I'm okay with
that's
it
fine.
at this point. Like, you know the amount of smack
If
I talked
Nani
on
wins,
Emmy.
I think I will lose it too.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one. And I love her as a person. Root for her, but
As a person, why? Because you liked her hair tonight? Like,
I just feel like she has a good heart. I know I just feel like she has a good heart.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Banana says she's good, by the way.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, your eyes just twinkled.
Yeah. Is there any MTV challenge? Is there any tea?
I got all the tea. All the tea. This week was crazy. Okay. I need to make sure I pause like
so
Nelly
excited.
because I'm afraid that I'm going to just talk really fast because that's what I do in general. So Jemmy, remember Jemmy?
Mm-hmm.
She has been teasing on her Twitter for weeks
Okay.
that she has some tea from Jordan about Tori.
Okay. Nim.
I know. Did you hear me do it?
Has been teasing on her.
All right, I can talk
Instagram
probably normal again.
that she.
All right.
Yeah. I thought I wanted you wanted me to translate for you like him. You're not gonna believe this. Okay. All right. Anyway, go on. Sorry. Yeah, I won't interrupt you anymore. Yeah.
I was doing a little bit of an Ellie there,
You're
wasn't I?
good. No.
Okay. So Jemmy finally drops it 2 days ago, I think. But she posted on Patreon.
Her Patreon. Okay.
Her Patreon. So you gotta subscribe for $5 to get this video with this tea that Jordan had spilled about him and Tori.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't subscribe because I knew if I probably waited a little bit, I would get the information.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
So
You have the internet, right? Okay, that's it. Yeah.
a couple hours goes by. I see people like talking about it on Twitter, and everyone's like, "What you got? What you got? What you got?" Nobody's saying anything. Then all of a sudden, I get a notification on my phone. Well, first, someone had said something along the lines of, "So you cheat, and then you have him pay you to leave."
Okay.
And I was like, "What's that about?" And all of a sudden, I get a notification on my phone that Tori's live on Instagram. And I'm like, okay. So Tori's like, look, I've not wanted to talk about our breakup. Like, we have both chosen to not talk about our breakup. But because Jemmy put this out online, I feel like I need to. And then she stops. Best moment. She stops and she goes, "Mom, I can hear you listening to the live in the other room. Turn it down."
It's like on radio. Like, you turn off your radio.
And she's like, "I live with my mom. I still live with my mom." It was so cute. I loved that. I loved that moment. But anyway, so she says, Jemmy put this out. I got to talk about it. Jordan and I broke up October 12th or something. I'm getting the dates probably wrong. I'm guessing. It was sometime in October. I know this because I looked at my Instagram and this is what I posted that day. My friend came and picked me up. Then I went home for 2 weeks, stayed with my mom. Jordan had to, went and did a race. I came back while he was doing a race, got my stuff, but, we'd had a house together. So there was furniture that, I bought. So he, there was a $2,000 couch, there was a TV, there was a $500 mirror. So he paid me $3,000 for those items that I wasn't going to transport cross country. So that was the money paid or whatever. Here's a picture of my flight information from when I went to see Fessy. We went to Turks and Caicos. That was in December. Jordan and I didn't publicly break up until November because we had a contract with this company that we had to post things together.
Yeah, okay. Did they have like more dumb music videos together too?
It was some sort of box.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's where it all kind of got.
It's alluded that she cheated on him and he paid her at the same time. That's what
it's alluded that she cheated on him and she was like, "Pay me, so I'll leave." But that's not what happened.
That's not what happened. No.
From what she said.
Grow up, everyone. Breakups happen, and
right?
People,
and like I almost
together.
like didn't want to talk about it because I was like, it just feels dirty.
Oh, grow up, everyone. Like that's.
But the thing that she did say that stuck with me was Jemmy had called her an opportunist. To which she said, "You're literally making money about talking about my breakup."
And on.
Like you are having people pay you $5 to hear you tell a story about my breakup.
Good point. And you're on MTV All Stars. They're not asking you back to be on the challenge. You're an opportunist.
So,
you're doing something that Paramount asked you to do. They're going to pay you. 100%. She's right. I'm sorry you lost this episode, Tori. You won the week on T so far.
Yes.
Unless there's more.
That's all for her. Yeah, it sucked and it made me feel bad. And she also said that like she had texts from Jordan, like she's like, the first thing she said on the live was like, I got permission from Jordan, like to have this conversation. I just wanted to have the green light because we have not publicly talked about this. Then later people were all like, show us the text. So then later she posted the text.
Oh my goodness.
And it was, yes, he agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So
should know anyone that though.
And she's like, look, like I did not handle the breakup well. Like I rebounded. I did this. I was all about anything to make myself feel happy. And like, yeah, that really sucked. But I did not cheat. And I didn't ask him to pay me money to leave.
That's terrible.
It really is.
Because like you sit there and you'll have like the TikTok, like you'll have like the breakup and like, are you in TikTok?
Yeah, of course.
But they'll have the one thing like person walk in after a breakup and like, what's that? And like, oh, that's hoe phase. That's don't care. That's depressed phase. That's hoe phase. That's don't care. Whatever else. Like, and everyone's like, oh, they like that. They're like, oh, you'll rebound, girl. You're back. It's, whatever else. You're good. You're better off without him.
Our TikTok For You pages apparently like show
no,
way
mine is like
things.
so weird. It'll be like food, dogs, and like some weird like other thing where people do the A, B, C,
It's like
D, E,
it's
F,
dogs
U.
and teachers and dietitians for me.
I don't have dietitians. I have teachers too. I have teacher TikTok. I don't know. My algorithm is so crazy.
Stumbled into stripper TikTok one day and I was like, yeah, girl, get your money. Yeah.
But
it was great.
People are sitting there saying that to be like, and I'm sorry, and out of them, and if you can watch it, I'm not the one saying it, but they'd be like, everyone's like, yeah, you go, girl, you go do your whole phase, and everyone else now calling her out saying like she's wrong for doing that. It's
do whatever you want.
Yes. Like I said, grow up. They had investments together. They split it and they did it amicably. They didn't have a drawn out thing publicly. Good for them.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care for it. So here's the next T. Allegedly, X's 3 is an option for the next season of the challenge. I don't know. Allegedly, a bunch of people are getting calls. Even Cara, even Polly, like a bunch of people.
Okay.
So Natalie, remember Natalie from Big Brother, little cutie pie? Oh my God, right? Little
Heck
runner.
Yeah.
I know. We all three of us, I'm pointing to our producer too, who happens to be married to me. Yeah. We all have crushes on her. So Natalie posted something along the lines of my secret hookup or something. I saw this I saw things that happened after, and then I had to like work my way forward, like Tarantino it. I had to Tarantino it. And it was her and another girl holding on to a guy that had his face covered that looked a lot like Fessy because it had Fessy's purse.
It's not Fessy.
Who is it?
You know her original season, who kind of took her under his wing.
But it was my challenge hookup. No. It's a very tall man. It's not Bananas.
Okay.
I would like it to be Bananas. Oh my God.
There was a lot of things going on with them her first season. A lot of things. And if anyone knows...
He said, like, can you be my aunt in Spanish? Tia?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that were going on. And I was definitely encouraging that by their show.
So this is the picture. I apologize to all of you who are listening or even watching.
They're eagerly anticipating.
So this is the picture. Is that not Fessy? Look at the man bag. Look at the height. The face is covered. Oh, yeah. I guess I could show you.
I'd have to look at her season and or whatever else. And
by the way, she's beautiful. Oh my God,
she's gorgeous.
Get out of here.
Hold on. And she said, "My what now?"
Something about challenge crush. So here's
Who's
how
the girl in the picture?
I don't know. So here's
she.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's how I found it. So someone had posted, "I can't stop laughing." Natalie was really like, "Should I reveal my secret challenge hookup?" Then a pic of cropped Fessy comes out like this, like, dang. Who could that be? And it's a picture of Shrek with like a little bit of like something covering it.
Yeah.
And then I dug. But Ramanda was with Fessy.
Yeah.
So here's where the tea comes in. So Natalie's all like, my thing is people point fingers when they shouldn't be pointing. Maybe point those fingers at the person you trusted who was acting single behind your back so much no one knew you were in the picture. I'm a girl's girl, not a homewrecker. If I knew the truth, nothing would have happened.
What?
So Amanda says, oh yeah, because the challenge released the exes video. Listen, girl, I don't need any fake drama, so try it with someone else. I never had a problem with you and still don't. Get a call back on someone else's account, LOL. And then Devin goes, me and Fessy were also together this time, so F both of you.
That's good.
But then, like, Amanda, like, posted the screenshots between her and Natalie, like, I don't know, this fall. And
you don't get along?
No. Like,
okay.
So Amanda's saying something along the lines like, hey, were you with Fessy? Like, him and I are, like, kind of talking. Like, I'm not going to be mad at you. Like, just if he's an F-boy, I need to know he's an F-boy. Yeah. And she's like, oh, my God, girl. Like, I wouldn't have flirted with him if I knew you guys were together. And then she's like, okay, I'm calling you now.
This is a message to that woman in that beautiful black dress in the episode tonight.
Oh, Amanda.
If you want to continue to be, like TJ said, the world's best mom to that number one son ever.
Oh, no.
Stop traveling around to different places with an F-boy.
Oh, boo-boo.
Just be the world's best mom to that number one boy. And stop traveling around to all different places and worry about what people are trying on Instagram. And continue to look good in that black dress. You're doing great. That's it. That's my message here. She doesn't need that. She doesn't need to be.
She doesn't need
around.
to be treated that way. She doesn't need to be treated that way. She is beautiful. She is strong. She is smart. She's a nurse. Yeah. I knew what those girls in college that I was friends with that were in nursing school went through. It's freaking hard.
Who cares? Who cares about all this stuff? Who cares about where he was at? Hey, girl, was he with you? We were talking, whatever else. You don't need that. Do exactly what you said you're going to do. Continue being a nurse, the world's best mom to the number one son. That's it.
And also,
the
awesome challenger.
number one male in her life. Just do that. Yeah, and you'll go back to the challenge. But if it's exes, this and that, don't get into this beef and do this stuff. It's not worth your time. I mean, it's good for tea, but
it's so good for tea, man.
Is there any more for MTV?
That's all I got, other than Wolf.
Oh gosh, we're not listening to Wolf on the air. Do you got anything good from about the All Stars?
I liked All Stars this week.
Okay.
It was, I mean, All Stars is light. Casey won trivia.
Okay.
So did...
Not the Casey that we're talking about here, but yeah.
So Casey, little cute blonde, from back in the day that was Wes's partner a while back. And it was a Heights. So it was the, and she hated Heights member. And then Steve was her partner, the hand model.
Yeah.
So they won. So she was, I have to do it every time. I don't know why. She was incredible. as far as her political game, as far as coming up with who to put up for elimination. They both wanted Derek.
Okay.
And they chose to, and Jody had a life shield, and who won for the guys? Kahota had a life shield.
Okay.
So they chose to put those two up for elimination, bring them in, and they're like, well, I'm going to use my life shield on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jody would have obviously used it on Derek.
Yeah.
Because they were on the same season. They're very close. Yeah. So then the life shield was open.
Yeah.
Or so then there was no life shield. So then there was a lot of stuff. At one point, Derek said something about my life shield.
Ooh.
And Casey was like, wait, you mean
Jody's?
Yeah. Like it was. So then it ended up being Brad and Derek.
Okay. That's a good one.
On Nehemiah, they put one of John A's weaves, like to make his like long beard. Mm-hmm. And then for the women, it was Katie, because Katie was really scared of the heights.
Yeah.
So she like didn't do the elimination. So she was like, I'm absolutely going in. Or she didn't do the challenge. She's like, I'm absolutely going in.
She also said that she's been preparing for this from the last
She did say online, though, that she's like, she's like, it was windy and I really felt like my harness wasn't right. You know what? If
my harness wasn't right, okay.
If I am up there and I have a feeling that something is not right, like I really don't have a problem with heights, I don't feel like. But if something feels wrong, go with your gut. Like, I'm not trying to die here, right? Yeah.
But I mean,
so she like gracefully was like, I will go into elimination, period. Like,
sure.
I'm, you know.
The thing, like, TJ hates quitters. How many, we know more times that Katie has been like, I'm out, I'm not doing this, or quit, than more that she's won moments. So,
which was amazing because then she won this one.
Oh, good.
And it was heights over water. Casey.
Yeah. No, I'm saying Katie. When Katie says, like, I don't want to, she has more, she's like, F this,
right.
doing this, blah, blah, blah.
She looked really cute, too. I think I love her. So she was voted in against Ayanna.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Kendall versus Ayanna, like as far as in the votes. And they put Kendall up there. Katie didn't want Kendall as an option because she lost to Kendall last season.
Okay.
But they knew that Kendall would be somebody that would vote on Derek's side. Mm-hmm. So they put her in as a strategic move because then she wouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah.
So then Ayanna ended up, getting voted in. She did the cute moment. She had her normal outfit on and she had her uniform underneath.
Good for her.
It was great.
That's a good throwback, yeah.
It really was. And everybody was like, really enjoyed it. And then they had to lift bags and take them to different places. And then they had to do this like slide puzzle. Brad got it. Ayanna got it. So Derek went home. Katie went home. I love both of them, but,
sure.
It's the name of the game.
It's all-stars. So you hate to see any of them go.
Well, and like we forget that Brad... Did you watch San Diego?
What do you mean?
San Diego, original San Diego Real World.
Of course I did, but it's
not that's probably my favorite one.
That's
probably my favorite one.
First, like 3 really hard, and that's so crazy. But there's some I do, but I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, I
loved that one.
Obviously, there's ones I remember, but yeah,
I loved that one
Boston,
so hard.
Chicago, I remember well too.
And Brad could potentially be an accountant. Mm-hmm. Like he had finished school, was going to be an accountant, and I remember them leaving and Cameron, little cutie pie, mm-hmm. being like, dude, if you don't want to be an accountant, don't be an accountant. So to me, this is an easy puzzle, but I'm like, you still have that accountant brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you asked that, and I'm like, I know San Diego. I mean, Hawaii.
Well, in San Diego, I mean, oh my gosh,
Vegas stands out to me. There's a lot of everyone.
Well, and then San Diego, so Cameron is on that Southern Charm on Bravo. He's been on it for seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, a little cutie, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
She's married to Jake Jagowski in real life from One Tree Hill. She's been an actress. She's been on all kinds of things.
Here, really?
Yes. They have a child.
Great, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, pretty successful season there.
That is that's a really good Which is the most successful season out of all of them?
I mean, what is successful? I mean, come on, let's get out of here.
That's what I guess the season's over. Maybe it's a podcast to have to argue about the most successful season. But yeah, good episode. We got one more.
So excited.
One more final episode, and then we got a reunion.
We got 2 episodes of the reunion.
Jeez, good for them. All right.
By the way, when they were filming the reunion, it was a 2-day reunion, but they still did the same hair and makeup for 2 days in a row. So you go film the reunion. There was some partying. Then you get back in the makeup chair, and they do the exact same hair and makeup for the next day.
Yeah. Okay. I guess because
that seems tedious.
Well, for the hair and makeup people, but not for the people sitting in the chair. They don't care. It's all about producing.
I would care.
It's telling a story. They'll be able to cut and paste to whatever else, and they'll be like, all right, now back from the commercial. And it's like
this was 3 hours later. Yeah, 23 hours later.
It's all for the however the writers, producers want to do it. So,
but that was interesting to see. I was like, because like I follow Bravo, and they do it all just in one really long day. So I was like, oh,
yeah. So, Tori, you lost this episode. Producers, you're right there with her. 1A, 1B. Devin,
what would Bananas do?
Devin, you won this episode. What would Bananas do? He would not have let Tori get away with what she did when they got back to the house. If there's no partying going on and there's no drinking or whatever else, what Bananas would do, he would not have let. He would have been like, he would have made sure when he's talking, when Nellie's talking,
tail between her legs,
is an earshot. Doesn't matter where it is. Like, Bananas would not have allowed that to happen. Doesn't matter, they're running a final, they might be on a team, whatever else. Bananas would have made sure those two, Devin and Tori, because they're going in the next day or whatever else, that they're already mad at each other. They're not focused on whatever else.
I also think that he would have talked to her during the elimination when she was pulling that.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think...
a little bit more than what we saw. Like, it wouldn't have been the Nelly thing. It would have been the... While she was doing it, it would have been the close, a little bit quieter. You don't want to do this right now.
I know he would have said during the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
He would have said, "Devin, you're going to let her hug you like that after she just did you wrong."
Yeah,
like he would. Devin would have. I mean, Bananas would have made sure that those two were automatically focused on them and not the final. That's what Bananas would have done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's winning?
CT and Tori.
Oh, that's right. We already said that.
Yeah. What about you? CT already said back to back. There's 2
I
episodes,
want CT.
2 episodes in a row. He said your boy might just do back to back.
I want CT. I can't believe I'm going to say this. I want CT and Emmy.
Okay.
Piggyback ride on the way home. Piggyback ride to the finish line.
CT
crying for Romania.
Oh my God! There's no way. What you just did right there. No. But my grandma Romania.
I mean, I don't.
No.
God dang! I'm a flip flopper.
As much as I give him a hard time, won't be upset about Nelly.
Oh no, I ain't mad at that. I honestly, any of the men. But I want
only
CT.
okay Nani if she takes her challenge clothes off there and says, "I retire, I'm done." Like does it like a Rulon Gardner in the Olympics and says like, "This is me, I'm done with. I'm never doing a challenge again." And be like, "Thank goodness, this is all worth it. I never have to see you do a dumb in a one-on-one confessional again."
Well, it's not gonna happen.
Casey is gonna win one.
Realistically, like I would like to see Casey win.
I don't think it's her time.
No.
I think Tori's taking it. CT's going back to back.
I wouldn't mind Tori winning either. I wouldn't mind Tori winning. I don't know. I feel like this Uncle CT thing, they're gonna have this team, then they're gonna pair up. Oh, are they gonna pair up and he's gonna be like, "Deuces, Abby."
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, he'd do that every time.
God, it hurts so bad.
Casey
it didn't even happen to be. It's not even real. Like we're just pretending, and it still hurts me.
It's CT and Tori. Lock it in.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Follow us on Instagram, Final Alliance, on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, on YouTube. We are Final Alliance Podcast, on Spotify, or wherever you your podcast. We are Final Alliance Podcast. As always, I am Sarah hanging out with my good friend Jay. We are Final Alliance Podcast. Thanks for watching.
Hopefully next week I stand up 3 times and yell at the TV.
Take care.
Is that you're out?